£5,223. Or in US dollars, $6,900, or approximately 9,000 Australian dollars, or 0.38 Bitcoin. That's how much it cost us to live aboard this beautiful boat from the 1st of January 2020 to, well, the 31st of December, the day that this video goes out. We've kept absolutely every receipt from everything that we've spent, from supermarkets to chandleries, everything. Nadiana's collected it and she's crunched the numbers, and that's the number that we've come up with. It's pretty accurate. For the rest of the video, we're just going to go over how we spent that money. So if you've been watching the channel recently, you'll know that we're in the market for a boat at around the 10k range. And a lot of people have been asking, how did you get 10k to spend on a boat? Did you make it through the YouTube channel? Will your channel of 14,000 subscribers get you 10k to spend on a boat? Well, the short answer to that is no. But find out a bit more about that later on in the video. The trip took us from just outside Paris, where we were locked down because of coronavirus restrictions and lockdown restrictions. We made our way through the rivers and canals of France down to Marseille, where we got the boat lifted out, did our maintenance over 2 weeks, put the boat back, and then sailed, well, here to Monaco. The trip was approximately 700 miles, but more if you count the windy rivers, or if you're doing things in kilometers, it was 1,200 and odd kilometers. If you saw the last cost video from last year, you'll see that we spent about £10,000, but that was probably just for about 8 months of cruising. This time we're doing the whole year. And yeah, we spent about £10,000, and it was a very, very cheap year. That actually included the purchase of this boat. So if you watch the channel regularly, you'll know we're penny pinchers. We're shoestring sailors. We do things on a budget. I'm going to go through it on a month-by-month basis, and you'll see how our costs change from when we're in the rivers as to when we're on the French Riviera. Different things cost different amounts depending on where you are. So from January to February, we weren't actually on the boat, but we did have to pay our mooring, which was 420. It was 210 euros per month for our place on the river. Then we got back to the boat, and we were locked down pretty much immediately in March, and so our outgoings were basically just on food and mooring, and we worked out that on food we spent about 200 euros, and then the 210 mooring, that was in March and April. And then in May we started to get ready for the river and canal trip, so we were filling up fuel. So apart from the kind of, well, actually we stocked up the boat that month, and we spent 432 on food, we spent 210 on mooring, and then just to fill up fuel it was only actually 75 euros. That was including jerry cans. We also spent 89 euros on the river pass that you need for the canal system. So that was a more expensive month, but we were basically preparing to go off-grid. That comes to our costs for June, which were absolutely very, very low. So on food we only spent 170 euros, which really isn't too much. And our mooring for June, we only spent 32 euros. So on the canals and the rivers, there's a lot of free spots, a lot of free pontoons, some with free water and electricity as well. So we saved loads of money on that. And July as well was a cheap month, because we were on the rivers and canals in July, and we only spent 57 euros on mooring there. For some reason our food, we spent a lot more there, with it being 337 euros for July, and fuel 80 euros. So in July we spent 80 euros on fuel, and also in June we spent 78 euros on fuel. And as you can see, fuel was our greatest expense motoring through the canals and rivers. Then in August we had the main outgoings, which was lifting out Good Tidings, putting her back in. In fact, just lifting out Good Tidings and putting her back in, and all the work, the time spent on the hard there, was 478 euros. So that was quite a big expense for us. We also spent a lot more money on food again, because we were stocking up the boat for going off-grid and staying at anchor for a while. And we also filled up fuel, which was 41 euros. And then after that, putting the boat in the water in August, we didn't spend a penny on fuel, because we were sailing the whole time pretty much. We were only motoring out and into anchorages and small bays, so we still actually have a full tank. And a lot of people have said that we seem to motor everywhere, but it's really not the case, because we used about 20 litres of fuel from the whole trip, from Marseille to Monaco. And we still have a full tank. We also invested a bit of money in some things for the boat, such as fenders, because we knew we'd be going into some expensive marinas and we didn't want to dink any other boats. So we got a few extra fenders, which are not cheap, some rope, and loads of other bits and bobs, like for the maintenance, epoxy, polyester resin, all that sort of thing. So yeah, that came to about 150 euros, which isn't too bad really for boat stuff. And get this, for the mooring in September, 281. Now, September was our anniversary, our wedding anniversary, so we spent about 10 days in Cannes. So that accounts for half of the cost. And in some marinas, I think we spent one night in one marina, which was 30 euros, which was an absolute rip-off in a place called Le Lavandou, and it wasn't a particularly nice marina really. The main costs while sailing the French Riviera were in the mooring and in the marinas. We did still spend pretty much 90% of the time out at anchorage or sailing. It wasn't just in marinas, but still the prices, one night 30 euros, one night 26 euros. If you want to spend 2 or 3 nights over a month, it does rack up eventually. So in October, we just spent about 140 on mooring and food. They were just pretty much our outgoings. We were spending a lot of time at anchor. And then we came in to this marina in November, which made our only expense the marina and our food again. So here we pay 140 euros per month, and we average about 200 or 300 euros per month on food. So that's the cost for November and December. It's just marinas and food. So the overall totals for the trip: food 2,611, mooring 2,338, and fuel 274 euros for the whole trip. So there are some miscellaneous items that we bought as well. The river pass was 89 euros. Nadiana's piano, 180 euros. We also invested a little bit in our sound recording equipment because we tried to make our own music this year. Hopefully we can make our music a bit better coming up, but we bought a voice recorder for £75, swimming masks, £30, a mattress topper, that was 150, and a total for tools that we've bought, £275. So the total of miscellaneous items is 799. So obviously we have all these outgoings, and you might be wondering, well, how do we make any money? Well, we don't particularly make any money, but we do get a lot of these costs back from you guys through Coffee and PayPal. You hear us at the end of every video thanking you, and that's because you are helping us to afford these costs. We did set out to do this journey for about 2 years on our own savings, but because of Coffee and PayPal and you guys' support, it means that we can keep going without spending too much money. With regards to whether you can make 10k from a YouTube channel to buy a new boat, no, it's not the case. Through Coffee and PayPal, people are incredibly generous and it helps us with our living costs, but we're actually using our savings that we worked so hard for years before starting this YouTube channel. But it just means that we can use those savings to invest basically in our next home, and hopefully we can make it more comfortable. So thank you guys so much. And also another thing is through Google adverts as well. So just by watching the video, by watching the ads, don't worry, you can still press skip ad and not feel guilty, don't worry. But even for those just showing you those ads for 10 seconds, that gives us a bit of money. So that brings us to the end of the video. Happy New Year. If you got this far in the video, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching all our videos this year. Thank you very much for keeping us going and all the love and support that you give us. We really appreciate it. We love making the videos, and yeah, see you next year.
Of course, you will not get a Happy New Year from me. I have to say one thing about this whole cost video, because when I was collecting all the receipts, my beginning idea was to show everyone who has the dream of sailing the world, or sailing as a lifestyle, or as a trip, as a long holiday. It's really possible. Just need to control your cost and you can do it. So Happy New Year, and I hope you write that down for your New Year resolution.